What's up, everybody? It's Coy with my best version of me. I am dashing again. Well, I'm always dashing. So I think it's so funny that people judge you by the type of music that you listen to, especially when you're a Christian. Like, okay, when I first turned my life over to recommitted my life to God and everything, like a born again Christian, I slowly went from like secular music and movies and TV shows to like faith-based stuff. You know, I accidentally stumbled across the K-Love Christian Music Awards, and that's how I found out that basically there's like Christian music, like good Christian music that's not like the normal stuff that you like listen to or hear them singing in church and stuff like that. You know, like I found out that there's actually really good artists that put out really good music that is worth listening to, you know, that's Christian music. I didn't know that. And also, I recently found out that there is really, really good Christian hip hop out there. Like, I found the Christian music and I was fine with that. I was fine with just the regular Christian music that I found, you know, from like all these other artists, you know, that's not hip hop, but good music. I was fine with that. But then I found out that there are really good, like I said, Christian hip hop artists out there that are just killing it in the game. I mean, like, their music is just as good, if not better, than a lot of the secular music that I used to listen to. But it's so funny that people judge you by the music that you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a nice system in my Honda, and it bumps. And I'll be listening to like Lecrae or Hovey or one of them artists, you know, and I'll be bumping, you know, and when I'm listening to my music, I get like into my music, you know. I'll be waving my hand in the air and I'll be like bobbing my head and I'll be like singing it and I'll be like just getting it, you know. And then like I'll be like getting it and everything and singing it to it and everything, and then I'll pull up to a stoplight and I'll be sitting at a stoplight and I'll be bumping, you know. Like, I have a hatchback, so my system thumps. Like, it sounds really nice. And I'll be sitting there bumping and everything, and I'll see, and my windows are tinted. You can't tell through right here. I mean, it doesn't even look like my windows are tinted. Let me see if it makes a difference when I roll it down. Yeah, see, there you go. So you could see big difference that my windows are tinted. And they're like, they're not limo tinted, but they are very close. Like, they're really, I talked to a lot of my friends and they're like, yeah, you can't even see you when you're in the car. So, and that of course was because back when I was doing dope, I used to do a lot of dope in my car and I didn't want people to see me. So yeah, I had my windows tinted really dark. But I'll be sitting there bumping, and then I'll see somebody pull up next to me, and they'll be like looking, you know, and I have Jesus Saves on the back of my car, like a big decal that says Jesus Saves on my back windshield. And they'll pull up, and they'll be looking at me, and I could see them in their car like nodding their head or like rolling their eyes and like, you know, and I know what they're thinking, you know. They're like, I know what they're thinking. They're like, you know, this guy claims to be a Christian. He's got Jesus Saves on the back of his car, but he's out there listening to hip hop, and he's out there, you know, listen. And I know what they're thinking. But the thing is, it's so funny that they judge me by my music and the thumping of my bass and me getting all wilding out in my car and everything, and they think I'm listening to Eminem, Dr. Dre, NWA, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, whatever. They think I'm listening to all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I grew up listening to all that stuff. So all that stuff has got a special meaning right here in my heart. I grew up listening to all that. But the problem with that kind of music is that as a born-again Christian, I have to not listen to that stuff because that stuff feeds my head with a lot of BS that I don't want my head to be filled with. You know, I mean, it downgrades, you know, women. It talks very bad about society, about the government, about just regular people. I mean, it's calling women garden tools and calling women female dog. I mean, you know the name. Don't act stupid. You know the name I'm talking about. You know the words I'm talking about. And I, as a born-again Christian, I cannot be listening to that, because all that does is feed my head with a lot of that nonsense. I'm not going to say garbage, because their music is not garbage. It's good music, but it's just not for Christians to be listening to. And and when I listen to that, it puts all that stuff in my head, and then I'll be singing back to it, and then next thing you know, it just really messes with your head. You shouldn't be calling women, those names, the H word and the B word. You should not be calling that. Brothers looking at other brothers should not be calling each other the N word and what's up, mutton? We should not be talking like that. So it's like I said, the music is good. I grew up listening to it, but since I'm a born-again Christian, I cannot listen to it because it just clouds my head. I like to have thoughts in my head about what Christ wants me to be thinking, and I got to be thinking positive, thinking like an entrepreneur, thinking like a business owner, not saying that all that stuff makes me not think about it, but it's not Christian-like thinking, and if you're a Christian out there, you feel me, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a Christian, well, then you should still understand what I'm talking about. I mean, if you're into your music and you claim that you're into your music, then you should know what your music is talking about. If you don't know what your music is talking about, then you shouldn't even be listening to it in the first place. If you're listening to an Eminem song and you don't know what he's talking about, then you shouldn't be listening to it in the first place. I gotta go get this order. I love that, man. I went in there at the round table to go get this order, big, huge order, and I gotta drive it clear all the way over to my old stomping ground to where I used to run a gun at. But anyway, I saw this dude that was working in round table that was he's clean, but he's from my old days. He's from back in the day when I used to party and all that stuff. And he saw me and he's like, dude, you're swole now, man. You're from the last time I seen you, he's like, you're not all sucked up. You're freaking big now. And it's good to hear that. I love hearing that, because it lets me know that I'm doing things, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing things the right way, but I've been working out. Like I said, I've been training for American Ninja Warrior. And I told him that. I was like, dude, I've been training for American Ninja Warrior. And he was like, dang, man. He's like, yeah, big difference from the last time I saw you. and that's cool. I told, he looked good too. I mean, not in a gay way, but he looked good too. It's amazing when you get clean and you're not living that lifestyle anymore, and you start eating right, and you get all you go to the doctor, you get all the bugs out, you get back on a nice healthy plan, you're eating right, you're working out, you're dressing better, you're showering, you're doing all this stuff. It's amazing how much better you look to other people and to yourself. I look at old pictures back in the day when I used to party compared to now. Oh my gosh, dude, night and day difference. I look like a sucked up freaking zombie back then compared to now. But anyway, back to the music, back to people judging. It's so funny the way people judge me when I'm bumping my freaking music. I wish I could bump some right now, because I just want to show off my system to you guys, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. It ain't that serious. So but anyway, yeah, I never knew that there was so many good hip hop artists out there. And and it's funny because these people, they sit there and they judge you, and they sit there and they nod their head, they shake their head, and they're looking at you like, oh, why you you're supposed to be a Christian, representing a Christian, and you're over here listening to hip hop music. Not all hip hop music is bad music. Not all hip hop music is the kind of music that y'all listen to. I guarantee you this, and I could promise you this: I could turn my hip hop station on my Pandora or on my Spotify, and I guarantee you, you will not hear one single curse word on there. You won't hear them talking about hoes. You won't hear them talking about, itches, you won't hear them talking about any of that. You won't hear them talking about N-bomb this, N-bomb that. You won't hear none of that stuff. Now, what you will hear is them talking about the struggle, because the struggle is real. I mean, especially for like a born-again Christian coming from secular lifestyle to non-secular lifestyle, oh my gosh, like I can imagine the struggle that they talk about. I can imagine all the things that there is to rap about, because not just coming from, non-Christian to Christian, that's one thing, but there's just the whole shift, the whole shift in the way you live, the way you treat people, the way you talk to people, the places that you used to go to the places that you go, the places that you don't go. I mean, I can imagine all of the stuff, the stuff that there is to talk about. Like, so yeah, the struggle is definitely real. And I think the struggle is in a way bigger for Christians that went from non-Christian to Christian. I think it's probably a little bit bigger. I mean, in a different way. Coming from the ghetto to becoming a rich, signed millionaire hip hop artist, there's a whole level of struggle there that every artist goes through, no matter if they're Christian or non-Christian. But coming from non-Christian to Christian music, like, I'm sure the struggle is crazy. I'm sure the peer pressure is crazy, and then, how many of those people actually stay real? That's why I have Jesus Saves on the back of my car, because there's no shame in my game. I am not ashamed of it. When I run into old friends that I used to party with, and they're like, man, like, how are you doing? How are you staying clean? All this stuff. And I tell them, because I'm living my life for God. I don't sugarcoat it, or I don't shy away from it and say, oh, I don't know, I'm just doing really good, and not even mention Jesus with a big Jesus Save sticker on the back of my car. I talk about Jesus all the freaking time. I probably talk about Jesus so much, I'm sure a lot of people get tired of hearing me talk about Jesus, because I talk about him all the time, because there is no shame in my game, because Jesus Saves on the back of my windshield is 100% true. I would not be here. I would not have a YouTube channel. I wouldn't have 2 YouTube channels if it wasn't for Jesus. Somewhere there needs to be a mic drop in there. Somewhere. Like, I would not have the life that I have. I would not have my junk removal business. I would not have this freaking amazing relationship with my mom if it wasn't for Jesus. Like, I owe everything to Jesus. Everything. Another mic drop. Like, for real. Like, I'm spitting bars now. Like, for real, y'all. Like, let's be real. Like, everything I own, everything I have, everything I'm working towards, all of my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, me working out for American Ninja Warrior, me getting ready to go to Houston, everything, all of my dreams, all of that stuff would not be in play if it wasn't for God. For real. Like, another mic drop right there. Like, it would not be, I would not be here. So, like, I could totally understand, like, the struggle is definitely real, and I just hope that, well, I'm sure all these hip hop artists out there, they're representing, because you hear it in their music. You hear it in their lyrics, the way they're talking, the way they're rapping, and they're talking about God and Jesus and the Lord and how he saved me, and I can do all things through Christ, and yada, 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 yada. They're repping it big time, So there's no shame in their game either. It's these fake people that claim that they're repping Jesus, or that they're repping God, or whatever, that they claim that they're Christians, and then when you bring it up, they do like I think it was Peter that, denied Jesus 3 times, like they deny Jesus. And man, don't do that. Don't do that. That's like the worst thing you could do, is say that you're a Christian and try to live like you're a Christian, and then when somebody brings it up, you just straight deny God. Oh, I don't listen to that, or I don't do that, or I don't, dude, I feel sorry for you. If that's you and you're doing that, I feel sorry for you, because God is going to deal with you. And yeah, that I don't like he's going to say to you, like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. Like, if you're like that kind of Christian, I don't know you. Because, like, I don't even want to surround myself around people like that. I want to surround myself around people that are happy and would love to tell people about Jesus and love to tell people about God and how God and Jesus has changed their life for the better. Like, I would love to hang out with people like that. Those are my people. That's the kind of people I want to find when I get to Texas. And I know that I will. And you know what? Another thing that I realized, like, being a hardcore Christian, is that it seems like, now, don't kill me in the comments here, but if I'm right, agree with me. If I'm wrong, then let me know. But in my experience, it seems like from the East Coast over to the West Coast, as far as the whole United States is concerned, it seems like there's a lot more faith-based coming from there over here, like Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Texas, like Arkansas, like all that. It seems like the faith base is like way stronger over there. And then it seems like the more that you come from there to this side, it seems like it dies off. Like, it's less and less people. I watched like, Brandon Lake's one of my favorite artists, right? And I was watching some videos of him live in, like, the East Coast, or like the Midwest, even, like Texas, Georgia, whatever, like the South. I was watching his live videos over there, and he's got, like, the whole entire stadium, like, singing his music back to him. I mean, like, they're all singing so much that you can't even hear him singing. All you hear is them singing. And then I watched one of him in, I think he was in Washington, or he was in LA, or somewhere over here on the West Coast, and he kept saying, come on, sing it with me, come on, sing it with me, come on, everybody join in. And, like, it was like you can hear crickets. I mean, that's the night and day difference. I mean, there was maybe, out of 100,000 people, there may have been, 10,000 people singing his music back to him. But nothing like the East Coast and the Midwest and the South. I mean, huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, like, it seems like there's a lot more faith-based people, like, that side of Texas versus this side of Texas. Like, it's night and day difference for real. And that's why I cannot wait to go to Texas, because, like, that's my people over there. Like, I can't wait to get over there. There's a lot of things that are going on. Okay, now I gotta be very careful the way I say this, because I don't want you guys to take it the wrong way, and I don't want to get freaking just blown up on the comments or whatever for saying this the wrong way. I have no problem. Like, I've been friends. I know people that their sexual preference is not like what the Bible would be talking about. It's not what the Bible preaches, like they're gay or lesbian or whatever it is, or trans or whatever, and that's on them. Like, I have no problem with that. And the reason I say I have no problem with that is because also part of being a Christian is that you do not judge people. We as Christians do not judge people, because I don't want to judge those people, because I don't want God to judge me the way I judge other people. So I don't judge nobody, like, if you're gay or les or trans or whatever, that's on you. Like, I'm not the one that you got to worry about dealing with, in the afterlife, when you're long gone and from here, and you're no longer in your in your tent, which is like your body here on earth, when you're no longer in that tent and you move to your permanent residence, I'm not the one that you have to worry about. I'm not the one that you got to worry about judging you. So I'm not going to judge you, because when I move from my tent to my permanent residence, I don't want to be judged the way I judge other people. So I don't judge those people. But like I've noticed, like from Texas on over, they're a lot more lenient about that stuff. Like here, like in Washington, oh my gosh, like I was just talking to my mom the other day, because I drove past a middle school, which is like 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And on the sign in front of the middle school that said, I don't want to put them on blast, but it said so-and-so middle school. And right on the sign, it said, help us celebrate Pride Month. These are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and you're talking about celebrating Pride Month with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders? I'm like, dude, what the heck? My mom was like, you should have taken a picture of that and blown them up on Facebook and put them on blast. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, but I'm not all about that. Like, that's not, I don't want to do that. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother video. But she was like, dude, you should have totally put them on blast. And I see where she's coming from, because don't get me wrong, the thought did cross my head when I saw that, like, help us celebrate Pride Month for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I was like, have you guys lost your freaking mind? Like, these are kids, like junior high kids. They don't need to be talked about, like, they don't need to be knowing anything about Pride Month and this and that and all that. They need to be hitting the school books, learning about what 6th, 7th, and 8th graders need to be learning about. They don't need to be learning about all that other stuff, So yeah, I would. Oh wait, I think I went the wrong way. Hang on, I gotta pause this video. So yeah, like, I mean, like, I don't have any kids or anything, but if I had kids that went to that school and I saw that sign there, I don't know. I would probably pull my kids from that school, because, I mean, like, if they're talking about that stuff on a sign, what in the world are they teaching in the classrooms? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's a weird subject, but, in Washington, they are like full on pro all of that stuff. Like, big time. Like, it's huge out here. You see it with teenagers all the way down to like 12 years old and younger. You see that within it. It's like, I can't even, like, I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know how these kids are that young and they're already like batting for the other team and talking about trans and all that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not judging. I just don't get it. So, I'm going to come back to this. Because now I'm getting a lot of glare and I don't like that. So I'm going to come back. So, like, for example, when I was in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I went to school in high school, or I went to school in San Diego, in Coronado to be exact. And when I was in junior high in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I didn't even know anybody in my school that was gay, lesbian, trans, any of that. Nobody in my school was. Nobody. Now, like, they have groups, like in Washington, they have groups of kids that are in that grade, groups of them that are like gay, lesbian, trans, whatever, And like I says, I'm not judging anybody. Like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, there's just a lot. It's a lot different now. And I don't know. Like I says, I'm pretty sure it's frowned upon in the Bible. And I just don't. I don't want to be the one. To judge, I'm not going to be the one to judge, but I just wonder what's going to happen at the end of their life. Like, who's going to make it to heaven and who's not, that's, and that's, I guess that's all I got. Like Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've met a lot of cool people that are from that crowd, gay, lesbian, trans, whatever. I know a lot of cool people. I personally know people that are cool as heck, like that, when I knew them, I called them a friend. They called me a friend. But they moved on. I've moved on. I don't know them anymore. And, like, I've worked with people that are gay. Like, I don't have a problem with gay people or lesbian people. I don't have any problem with that. Or trans people. I don't have any problem with that. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know what's going to happen after this life is up. I don't know if they're going to go to heaven. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I have no clue, but I just know what it says in the Bible about it. And yeah, like when I saw that on the school sign, I was just completely floored because I just didn't think, I mean, I can see, like, hang on, I'm getting another order. So I have my maps activated, so you're probably going to hear my maps because I don't know where I'm going. But, like, I can understand maybe in, like, high school or even, like, college, totally. You're old enough then, to kind of figure things out or not figure things out or figure out what you want or what you don't want. But 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, that shouldn't even be an option. At that age, that shouldn't even be an option. I mean, you should be focusing more on what they actually teach you in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade rather than your sexual preference or the way that you want to be addressed as a guy or a woman or trans. That shouldn't even be an option at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not judging. I'm just voicing my opinion, which is freedom of speech, like I'm just voicing my opinion, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right there. This place that I'm going to is called Nirvana something, which is like pretty cool because like Washington is where like Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love and all them, were from. Nirvana was from here, from Seattle. And this place that I'm going to, this restaurant or something, it's called Nirvana something. Oh man, ferry traffic. I think I'm gonna get stuck in ferry traffic on the way back. This sucks. I hate getting stuck in ferry traffic because where I'm at, there's one road, there's one lane going in and one lane going out. And I just passed a bunch of traffic that's coming from the ferry, and that means it's all those cars, hundreds of cars in one lane going back the way I got to go back when I leave here. Oh man, I really hope it's gone by the time I turn around. Like, I hate being stuck in ferry traffic. That sucks. That's the only thing I forgot about coming out this way is because I haven't been out here since my partying days, and I totally forgot about the ferry traffic. So, man, oh yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, like, I don't want to get stuck in it, but I have a feeling I'm going to get stuck in it. Oh man, hopefully I won't. I'm really hoping that I won't. All right, I gotta stop the camera because I gotta pay attention to where I'm going. I gotta find this Nirvana place and pick up this order, and yeah, to be continued. I want to share something really quick with you guys while we're at a stoplight. Check out this kindness rock that I found the other day. I'm gonna take this out and watch. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Look at how freaking cool that is. It was just chilling on top of a pole, like one of those like a pole like in a gas station. It was just chilling on top of the pole, and it says one step at a time, like, which is completely like just works with what's going on in my life right now. Excuse the hand. Sorry, I got to put the phone back in the cradle. But yeah, I just want to show you guys really quick that. Oh my gosh, look at this ferry traffic. Hang on, let me flip this camera around. Look at this ferry traffic. This is what I'm going to be stuck in after I pick up this order and I go back the other way. This is what I hate. See, I said one lane going in, one lane going out. And all of these cars that you see in this, all of these cars are all coming back from Seattle. They just got off the ferry. They're heading back home, but they're now they're not on the Seattle side of the water. They're on my side of the water. But this is what I have to worry about now. And it's only one lane in, one lane out. So there's no point in trying to be in a hurry. There's no point in trying to, you cannot dip in and out of traffic. It's not like you're on the freeway where you got multiple lanes and you can dip in and out, in and out. You're just stuck. And they just got off. Here's the end of the line. So I'm gonna be right after that guy. I'm gonna be the end of that traffic trying to go back. That freaking sucks. Now, if I was getting on the traffic to go to Seattle, this is the traffic that I have to sit in to wait to get on the ferry. You can't just drive up to the ferry. If you do, they will just turn you around and tell you to go back and sit in this line right here. Luckily, I'm not going on the ferry. I'm just going to that Nirvana restaurant to go pick up my DoorDash order. But look at this. Look at this. Look at all these people. And this goes for miles and miles and miles. See, they're right there. You got to show the guy your ticket. Otherwise, if you just show up at the ferry and buy a ticket at the ferry, I got news for you. They will turn your butt around and have you go all the way back and get in the very back of this line. And trust me, you will be ticked off. Like, you will be ticked off. I just pulled up to the restaurant. I'm about to go inside, but I want to show you guys this Jeep really quick. I just, black and red is my favorite, like, color combo. So I want to show you this Jeep real quick. Check this out. Bam. May not be a big deal to you guys, but that's a pretty big deal to me. So anyway, I'm gonna go get this order. Okay, so that I just did this whole thing and it didn't record. So check this out. These apartments right there, I used to live in those apartments. Okay, so this Nirvana place, I'm gonna show you guys, is right next to, see, there's Nirvana. It's an Indian cuisine restaurant, and it's right next to the Firehouse. Now, the Firehouse was here when I used to live here. Firehouse is a movie theater. It's a movie theater. And then this Nirvana place is an Indian cuisine place, which is so weird because when you walk through the door, you smell popcorn from the Firehouse Theater. But then you walk through another door and you smell the Indian cuisine. So it's really, really weird. It totally threw me off. I couldn't figure out the way into the building because I knew how to get into the Firehouse Theater, but I didn't know how to get into the Indian restaurant place. So anyway, like, it's cool to be back in this neighborhood because, like, I used to live here before I had my drug habit. And it's just cool to be back over here. But anyway, I gotta go. I gotta get this food delivered. So, to be continued. All right, I had to stop for gas really quick. One of the things that I love about coming back out here to my old stomping ground is it's all Indian reservation. And the gas station is way cheaper on Indian reservation. Back in town, back in Bremerton, I usually pay about $5.49. Like every gas station I go to down there is $5.49 a gallon. But up here in Kingston, where I'm at right now, it's $5.05 a gallon. So yeah, I'm about to fill up my tank right now. All right. So yeah, people, don't judge other people. I don't care if it's the music they're listening to, the clothing they're wearing, their sexual preference, whatever it is, don't judge other people. Like, I can't remember the exact scripture verse, but Google it. What does the Bible say about judging other people? And it's not good. So I just wanted to take advantage of the way that the sun is right now, and I can actually film without, like, it being blinding. So in a little bit, I'm gonna have to stop the camera because it's gonna be blinding again. But yeah, like, seriously, like, I go through life, and especially as a Christian, as a born-again Christian now, like, life is too short to be judging other people. And, you know, the purpose of this video was not me judging gays and lesbians and trans and all them. It was just voicing my opinion of what I thought about it and stuff like that. And I don't agree with that school. Oh, hang on, I got another order. So yeah, I don't agree with that school posting that thing on their sign. Other than that, I mean, that's all I was really wanting to share. You know, that was my whole point of bringing that up. But yeah, it's not good to judge people because, like the Bible says, if you judge people, then Jesus is going to judge you the same way that you judge other people. So, I mean, like, if you're going to judge somebody, judge them from a positive way. I can't really think of any examples, but judge them in a positive way to where you can turn around and help them. But if you can't, and you're judging them on a biased way or whatever, that's not good. And I really wouldn't do that if I were you. So yeah, I mean, unless you're gonna judge somebody to help them, I wouldn't judge anybody. So I mean, like, that's the whole point of this video, was talking about people judging me for the kind of music that I listen to and all that stuff. And then we got on the whole other topic of the other thing. But yeah, just don't judge anybody. Like I said, I don't care if it's, you know, something that they wear, some place that they hang out, whatever it is. There's a million different ways that we can judge people. I don't suggest judging them on anything because, like I said, and I'm going to say it again and again and again, is you don't want Jesus to judge you the same way you judge people, because he says he will do that in the Bible. He says, if you judge people, I will judge you the same way you judge other people. So you don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. So just be a faithful Christian, be an obedient Christian, and if anything, try to help people. Don't be out there trying to judge people. Try to help people. If you see somebody doing something that you don't like, try to help them or offer a word of advice or anything like that, you know. If they're wearing some clothes that you don't like, you don't have to look at them. Don't look at them, you know. I mean, everybody has their own right to their own opinion. Everybody has freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of whatever. So we, and nobody is perfect. So we can't be judging somebody on the way they dress or the way they act or the way they this or the way they that, because we're not perfect either. So how dare us judge other people when we're not perfect either? Like the scripture, I can't remember what the scripture says, but it's like, don't judge a person with a log in their eye or a speck in their eye if you have a log in your eye. Meaning, you know, they're not perfect, so don't judge them for their not being perfect if you're not perfect. So that's basically all that I was trying to wrap up in this video. There's a cop right behind me. I just looked in my rearview mirror and I saw this cop like right behind me. So yeah, I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to, like, I don't know if he's watching me record or whatever. So I'm going to just go ahead and stop the camera for now because I don't want to get pulled over. I've seen other YouTubers get pulled over. I don't want to be one of those people. All right, you guys. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video right here because, yeah, I think I've pretty much said everything I got to say. Don't forget to comment down below. If you guys have ever been judged by anything, comment below what you were judged on. Let me know how you handled the situation. I would love to read your guys' comments. And if you guys really like the content and you guys are watching on a regular basis and you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, and it is a huge deal for me. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I love that you guys watch these videos. I hope you guys are learning from me just as much as I am learning from all you guys. So thank you so much. My name is Coy with my best version of me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.